ISIL is not contained. ISIL is expanding. They've just put out a video saying it is their intent to attack this country. And I think we have to be prepared. Hopefully, France will go for a Chapter 5, which will bring NATO into it. Hopefully, we will work with our allies to put together the kind of coalitions and attack plans in more than one place at a given time. There's only one way we're going to diminish them, and that is by taking them out.
Democrats are busy trying to wash the blood from their hands all too quickly. Some Republicans join them in not being able to stop spouting the same cliches that Americans and the civilized world have grown tired of. Even some in his own party are calling the president delusional in his approach to another round of wanton killing. What happened in Paris opens up the debate on the leader of this nation and whomever will be next. And if anyone has an original thought in their power-hungry head that would actually make sense in what is, without a doubt, a world at war. Right side, he worked in the George W. Bush administration, the Mitt Romney 08 campaign, also former chief spokesman for the Department of Energy, Craig Stevens. Left side, former aide to Democratic senators, now contributor to The Hill, Brent Budowsky. Gentlemen, I want to thank you both for being with us. And Brent, I'm going to start with you. There's Dianne Feinstein going right at it. The president is wrong. ISIS is not contained. We're getting it all wrong. Can't you admit, and don't you have to admit, that there's a growing sentiment, even among the Democrats right now, that this president got it wrong and he needs to repair this? He's got to do something different.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to admit it. I have been advocating that for about 4 years as far as Syria, Iraq, and ISIS are concerned.
Then why isn't he listening, Brent? Why isn't he listening to you, the people on the left, the Dianne Feinsteins of the world? Is he just that arrogant?
I think on this one he has a blind spot, and he tends to be a man who is difficult to persuade that he doesn't know everything. What I have been advocating, and will say it again today, and believe me, there are names you know that know my views, some of whom agree with him in the administration but can't say it. We need a minimum of 15,000 ground force special ops, including Americans, Europeans, and some Arab leagues who've got to get off their behind to join the fight. There is no other way to do it. The president has been resisting it. When he said today that his military commanders and top civilian advisors don't want that, he was bearing false witness.
Craig, Brent makes a couple of good points here. The story from Dianne Feinstein is on the Newsmax website under ISIS not contained. NATO should join the fight. This comes down to what Brent is saying, well, that we need to get others involved. But honestly, Craig, does the right see anybody out there who would get behind this president who has proven that he has a propensity just to sit back, wait, and try to let somebody else do the job for him?
Look, this is a really tough day for the president. The way he handled it over during that press conference was really a challenge for him. I think we had a couple of senators out today, Senator McCain and Lindsey Graham, both calling for up to 100,000 troops on the ground there. You know, he's been wrong on Syria since the beginning. He had red lines. He lets Assad continue to cross those red lines, and that's spilling over into the problems we're having today. And you know, certainly a horrible incident in Paris that very well could have been prevented had we done the right things several years ago.
Craig, when we look at the Republican candidates here, Donald Trump says maybe it's time to watch and study mosques. Is he right, or is he fear-mongering?
Look, that's a pretty loaded statement by Mr. Trump, I think. But what Senator Rubio said, this is a class of civilizations, is actually, you know, a smart way to look at it. What these radical Islamists are hoping for is to change our way of thinking, is to attack our way of thinking, is to attack the way that we support democracy, that we support women's rights in this country. Looking at mosques, maybe a step too far, but we do have to look at this as a real serious situation.
Brent, what about those who say that Republican governors are looking to block Syrian refugees from settling in their states? That's actually a federal issue. The states can't actually do that. But is it the right thinking at this time? Because we've got to protect Americans first.
Well, we need to think through how we vet whoever we take in. There is no question about that. I'll answer your Trump question, though. I think the Republican Party has to get an adult to be their candidate for commander-in-chief, not a gas bag and a blowhard who's less qualified to be president than I am.
Well, but wait a minute, Brent. Do you really think that Hillary Clinton would do a better job?
Absolutely. And
why?
And by the way, it is the
why,
view,
Brent? No, why?
Because she's not a gas bag and a blowhard, and she has experience at the presidential level.
Well, Brent, a lot of this happened on her watch when she was Secretary of State.
Look, I don't want to go back into another damn conversation and bash Hillary. We have a problem in America that we are threatened by a terror attack. Let's forget Ben Carson. Let's forget Donald Trump. I was pleased to see Mitt Romney on the Today Show. He is a grown-up. I'm pleased to see John McCain, and I think that Lindsey Graham has actually spoken more common sense than any other Republican that's running. I might not go as far as he would, but I would go in the same direction he would. I do not agree when Hillary said this is not America's problem. I think Marty O'Malley distinguished himself when he challenged her and said, yes, it is. I think he was absolutely right. But we have to deal with this, and we have to deal with it soon.
Okay, but let me take a spot that you talked about right there, Brent. I got about 60 seconds left. Craig, let's work off what Brent said here. Let's take out Republican. Let's take out Democrat. Let's take out Trump, Carson, Hillary, whatever it is you want to say. We need an adult right now, someone who understands foreign policy and someone who understands how to go to war and how to listen to the people who know how to take care of the enemy. How am I doing, Craig?
Yeah, and again, this isn't about bashing Secretary Clinton. I mean, she made some serious mistakes when she was Secretary of State under, advising this president. And I think there are a number of people on the running for president on the Republican side, whether it be Governor Bush, Senator Rubio, Mr. Graham, that would be effective leaders of the armed forces and actually take us to a place that would make America safer, because that is the preeminent role of the federal government, is to keep our citizens safe.
So can we say this? 10 seconds to you, Craig, just saying right now, Barack Obama is the wrong guy to do this. End of story.
Absolutely.
Okay, Brent, same to you. You will agree with that?
On this issue, yes.
There you go. From the left and from the right now, a president who simply is feckless, will not listen to his advisors, and simply is part of the problem and certainly not part of the solution. Gentlemen, we're at an agreement here on the political animal, that it doesn't make a difference whether you're left or right. We got to put somebody in there who knows how to get the job done, do it right, and not just go ahead and walk around aimlessly. Brent Budowsky, Craig Stevens, I want to thank you both for joining us. Always a pleasure. All right, if we're going to go full-out war, who's going to pay for it? Think about the economics of this and a whole lot more when we continue next on The Hardline.